Hi everybody, my name is Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden. And we're the Yahushua Torah YouTube channel.
And
It is that first or second day?
I don't know.
Second day?
I don't know.
It's second day. Whoa!
Yay!
We really don't get a drum roll
We'll
for
do a
second day.
drum roll
But we
'cause we're
are
late.
on the last chapter of Luke.
Yeah, let's do a drum roll
That's
for last
drum
chapter.
roll.
Yeah! All right.
So we are getting through the Gospels. It's crazy to think how fast the Gospels went. It just seems like it went really fast.
I feel like we haven't done a really good job on the Gospels because we kind of sped read them. When we did the Torah, we did a lot. We dedicated a ton more time to this. I think because we're at the end of like Luke, I think we started at Matthew. We did better at Mark. It was started repeating the same stories, and Luke.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Yeah, because we discussed a lot more prior to this stuff, but now that we're doing the same stuff. But what we got to remember, guys, is that most of the people who listen to this stuff, like a lot of people out there, never ever hear anything else we do other than simple one that we do, right? So a lot of people will only hear like a certain, like Luke 4 or Luke 5 or something somewhere. They never hear our stuff all the time. So we have to remind everyone lots, and we can't be those people that just get bored and run this, because this is absolutely nothing to be bored about. This is very interesting stuff for sure. Okay, we're in month 9 of our Creator's calendar. That puts us on the first day, which is a Monday. It's the 20th. Did I say Monday? Yeah, Monday is the second. Yeah, it's the second day. What did I say? First day. Yeah, it's and it's also the 25th day on our Creator's calendar. It is the 19th day on the Babylonian Gregorian calendar. And I wanted to actually, here, let's see. Anyone want to take I took the tablet away so they can't cheat on this. You want to take a stab at, do you remember how many Bibles Yah had delivered yesterday?
19, I think.
319 is what we were at.
I think it was what you said.
Okay. Anyone would take a quick guess?
335.
335.
I'm gonna say 327.
343.
Okay, so the main one, our restored scriptures, not ours, Yah's, is 312. The Hallelujah scriptures was 26. So that gives us 6, 7, 8,
42,
338, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 338.
I was like 3 off.
So 338. Did anyone make it?
I was 335. I was like 4.
Okay.
I was 343.
And what is crazy is the book of Enoch is the third one, and that's actually a bad copy. The one that the Hallelujah Scriptures actually gave out was like a bad copy of it. Like the only one book they ever gave out for free was jacked up. So once we get all of our books in very, very soon, we are going to scan that along with every other scriptures they have and get these up so everybody has access to this stuff. And there are a lot of downloads of other stuff. A lot of people are listening to the audiobooks. Look at that, Eli. This is all, and I say look at this, Eli, because he's the one that had to sit there and click like 500 uploads or something and put in descriptions for all these things. And so there are quite a few. And people are, there's only 4 or 5 here and there, but lots of people start off reading Genesis, and you can see 6 people listen to Genesis 2, and that's good. That's good. So hopefully that is being used properly in the kingdom of Yah. Now, I want to go over quickly first, Cade. We talked a little bit about the cat of 9 tails yesterday. And so, like always, we have a very loved Brother Glenn, who is definitely part of our family. I would say he's a grandpa, but he's more like he's our grandpa, but he's also our uncle. He's our brother. He's our, he's very astute, and he's 70 years old. And that for us, that sounds really old. Does this sound old to you guys?
Yeah.
Nicole says no. To me, it sounds really old.
I'm not even 20 yet, so that's kind of old.
Yeah, so I'm at 45, I think, and that still sounds old. I don't know how he made it that old. I have a hard time waking up in the morning moving my arms, but all these older folks are able just to spring up, and so they must be a lot tougher than me. But anyway, we really, really appreciate Brother Glenn and his comments and things of this nature, because we are not those people who have everything answered and everything understood. And so when we have our, elders or those who have been doing this for far longer than we have, help us out, we really, really appreciate it. Okay, let's go into this real quick. What is a scourge? And it's the original Greek word translated as scourge, has the same root as emestiagosin. The original Greek word used in John 19:1 to state that Yahushua was scourged by Romans before his premeditated murder on the stake. and refers to whipping, lashing, or even punishing in general. But the original Greek word translated as having scourged in Matthew 27:26, Mark 15:15, specifies the whipping that Yahushua received from the Romans as having been with the Roman flagellum. What did the scourge with the Roman flagellum involve? The victim to be scourged was stripped and made to stretch his arms around a pillar, boulder, or another large object, typically a forward-leaning angle. His hands were then bound with thongs, Acts 22:25, tightly on the other side of the pillar or boulder so that his arms were distended and his back stretched tautly. He was then whipped with the Roman flagellum, which is a whip with 2 or 3 long leather strips attached to a short wooden handle. Knotted in along the leather strips were pieces of metal and bone that dug into and then tore out flesh during the whipping, which shredded the victim's back from the neck to the buttocks. It wasn't uncommon for the victims of the Roman scourge to die from ensuing blood loss and or shock. So this sounds like it was sometimes it was a beating to the death, right? The human body can only take so much abuse, and that is something amazing that our Creator has given us is the shutdown of our body and the shutdown of our mind. And a lot of people who are physically or emotionally abused are able to disconnect themselves in ways that others aren't. And it's kind of a safety net that our Creator has given us so that people are able to deal with incredible times and stuff of this nature. But this was our Messiah, guys. This was a bad deal, right? This is not something that, it wasn't just a spankings across the buttocks. It wasn't just a whipping. This wasn't a whipping like the Torah says, where you can't get more than 40 lashes, right? These were not Torah observant people. And I don't think that you would lash somebody in the back with pieces of bone and metal and things of that nature. I mean, this is a torture device, right? I mean, it's essentially, there's nothing else you could say. It is a torture device. Anything? Thoughts, gentlemen?
No.
Okay, you got your answers.
Yeah.
Did you want your answers?
Probably not.
But thoughts? Anyone else have anything on this?
That's ruthless. This is a ruthless thing.
Everybody got real quiet real quick on this whole thing when reality sets in like this.
Really brutal.
Not just really brutal, real brutal. Okay, yeah, so thank you very much, Brother Glenn, for that. We love you, and I think I thank you for that, but let's continue on. Okay, so we're in the final chapter of this, and the only good news is that was all from yesterday's chapter. And I'm not saying it's good news because I don't know how you could ever say anything like that was good news, but it's good news we're past the chapter, and it's a little bit better now. So let's continue on, and how you guys doing?
Good.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
No issues?
No.
How's your wrist, Eli?
Still hurts.
Anything better?
Maybe a little bit.
You sleeping well at night?
Yep.
Yeah. Jade, you got sleep?
Yep.
All right. Everyone good? Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Luke 24, first one. And on one of the Shabbat at early dawn, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. And having entered, they did not find the body of the Adon, Yahushua. And it came to be, as they were perplexed about this, that see, 2 men stood by them in glittering garments. And becoming frightened, and bowing their faces to the earth, these said to them, Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, but has been raised up. Remember how he spoke to you when he was still in Galilee, saying the Ben of Adon has to be delivered into the hands of sinners and be impaled, and the third day rise again? And they remembered his words. And having returned from the tomb, they reported all this to the 11 and to the rest. Now, where was the 12? Where's Judas? Yahudas?
He's dead.
He's swinging in a tree somewhere. He was dead. Okay. 10. And it was Miriam from Magdala, and Yochanan, and Miriam of Yaakov, and the rest with them who told this to the emissaries. And their words appeared to them to be nonsense, and they did not believe them. But Kepha arose and ran to the tomb. And stooping down, he saw the linen wrappings lying by themselves, and he went away home, marveling at what took place. And see, 2 of them were going that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was 60 stadios from Jerusalem, Now, your guys will say Emmaus, Emmaus, and this is Amos in this version. Okay. 14. And they were talking to each other of all this which had taken place. And it came to be, as they were talking and reasoning, that Yahushua himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were restrained, so that they did not know him. And he said to them, what are these words you are exchanging with each other as you are walking, and you are sad? And the one whose name was Cleophas, answering, said to him, are you the lone visitor in Jerusalem, who does not know what took place in these days? And he said to them, what? And they said to him, concerning Yahushua of Nazareth, who was a Nabbi, mighty in deed and word before Elohim and all the people, and how the chief Kohanim and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and impaled him. We, however, were expecting that it was he who was going to redeem Yisrael. But besides all this, today is the third day since these took place. Okay, what do we make of this?
So they thought it was going to be a different kind of redemption. They didn't understand they were going to have forgiveness of sins. They thought they were literally going to be freed out from under slavery.
A couple of things is they are still lacking faith. They only said he was a prophet. They didn't say he was the son of the Most High. So they obviously didn't, these aren't, I don't think this is one of the 12. I think it's just other outside disciples. When he had 70 and he had them go 2 by 2. Mm-hmm. I think these people aren't like the 12 that were with the Messiah, or they would have said the son of Elohim.
Right. And sorry about that. That was Josh. He's just a bad dog. It's not a bad dog, but he's a loud dog. Yeah, so number one, when they were going back to Jerusalem and they were doing Hosanna, right? And he comes in the name of the king, right? They thought the king had arrived, right? They thought he was there to reign in Jerusalem. And then the leaders, they're so-called leaders, right? These are Talmudic leaders of this, and they killed him. They killed Messiah Yahushua. Okay. And then they said, besides all this, today is the third day since this took place, right? And so they actually knew about him rising up, right? And so they didn't.
They're lacking faith again.
Maybe, but we can't put ourselves that we may have more faith in them until we actually walk in their moccasins.
They walked with Yahushua and they still didn't have the faith, so.
Right, but.
So, that means we could also stumble and we haven't seen Yahushua. So that's why Yahushua says, blessed are those who have not seen me and believe.
Yeah, absolutely. 22. But certain women of ours who arrived at the tomb early also astonished us. When they did not find his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of messengers who said he was alive. And some of those with us went to the tomb and found him, as also the women had said, but they did not see him. And he said to them, O thoughtless ones, and slow of heart to believe in all that the Nebiim have spoken. Sorry, my dog is just being very bad. 26. Was it not necessary for Hamashiach to suffer these and to enter into his esteem? Hold on, I'm just waiting for my dog to be crazy. He's just really crazy. Yeah, I know. He's watching another dog getting crazy from across the room. Okay, 27. And beginning at Moshe and all the Nebiim, he was explaining to them in all the scriptures that concerning himself. Okay, so I don't think I got this right here. Was it not necessary? So Mashiach, our Messiah, is sitting right there, right? And he's talking to them.
And he asked them about thoughts ones. He goes, was it not?
Right. And then he sits there and starts explaining to them in scriptures that is concerning him. So can you imagine that?
Do you think they figured out right then and there that was Yahushua?
I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think so. 28. We know the proofreaders. They know. And they approached the village where they were going, and he seemed to be going. But they urged him strongly, saying, stay with us, for it is toward evening, and the day has declined. And he went to stay with them. And it came to be, when he sat at the table with them, having taken the bread, he barak, and having broken, he was giving it to them. And their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight.
He disappeared. He's
So, did
gone.
he just, go invisible or something, or did he just, walk away?
I don't know. But was this of Yah that they were unable to see, or was it of the devil they were unable to see?
I think this is a testing thing from Yah. This is, testing the disciples' faith.
How would it be to be sitting at the same table, and you don't recognize somebody, you have no idea who they are, and then they start breaking the bread, and all of a sudden you recognize who they are? What does he look like?
Obviously, you're blinded. Obviously, they see something that's not there, or they see something.
Do you think he looks different than he used to look?
I don't think so. I think it's the way they see it. I think he looks the exact same, except they just can't see him.
People aren't ready to see it yet. Okay, and what happened? Did he walk through the wall and disappear? Did
He
he?
just like
Did they turn around?
Just slowly turn invisible or something, and like then just walked away.
Well, it's like the account when he was up on top of the mountain, right? And you have Moshe and you have Elijah, and they're all wanting to make booths, and then 1 second they look down, or 1 second they look away, and next it's completely gone, right? So amazing. Okay, 32. And they said to each other, "Was not our heart burning within us as he was speaking to us on the way, and as he was opening the scriptures to us?" That's interesting, this account right here, right? That you know when your heart is burning, right? You know when you're all fired up. You know when you're excited, right? And so they were talking about how the excitement of when he was opening the scriptures to us, right? And when they said open the scriptures to us, are they talking about him like physically opening the scriptures, or did he just quote things?
I think he's just quoting things because he's not even be carrying around an entire grip of scrolls, like an
Right.
entire, because he didn't have a Bible. He had scrolls, and he would have to like carry around like bag full of scrolls to go through these.
Yeah, and unlike most people today, the people of old probably knew scriptures fairly well, to the point that when he was opening the scriptures to them, he was opening their mind to what the scripture said, and then, wow, this is what it meant, and he was right there. Okay, 33. And rising up that same hour, they returned to Jerusalem and found the 11 and those who were with them gathered together, saying, "The Adon was truly raised and has appeared to Shimon." And they related this on the way, and how he was recognized by them in the breaking of the bread. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry. Okay, thank you. All right, 36. And as they were saying this, Yahushua himself stood in the midst of them and said to them, "Peace to you." And being startled and frightened, they thought they had seen a spirit.
He just like shows up in the middle. He's just like,
He disappears and shows back up like, "Hey guys, peace."
how's it going?
Yeah, and why do you think they thought he was a spirit?
I think it's the way he appeared before them. I don't think it was like he walked in. I think he like
Literally, like physically just like showed up,
Yeah,
What would
he
a-
just like showed up there like.
teleported in.
What would a spirit look like? What do you think a spirit looks
Well,
like?
he
I
explains
mean, it
it.
can look like anything. It would look like a human. It could look like anything.
He explains what a spirit is. And
Yeah, but what do you guys think a spirit would look like? They thought they saw a spirit. How would you know you saw a
Okay,
spirit? Would it be the ghost of somebody?
I would think it's something floating, but I don't know. I mean, it could
like
be
Casper, the
Yeah,
friendly
yeah,
ghost?
kind of.
I think a demon can look like anything, right? They can transform themselves, and I think the way he showed up in the middle, like right, because demons can appear to people out of nowhere, and I think that's the way it appeared. That like they should have thought it was a messenger because he said peace to them.
Do we know a demon can appear as anything, or do we know that's the power of Hasatan? What do we know about demons? We know demons can
control us.
people. They can make them sick. They can throw them into fire. Have we ever known a demon to conjure something like this? We do know Satan is able to do this, but do demons have the power to put us into a trance and to able to see things of this nature?
Probably, I think they blind our eyes.
You think they have what?
I think they probably blind our eyes from seeing things.
Right, but are they? So if blinding us is not going to show us things. I mean, if they're able to blind us, that's probably one thing, especially if they're invested in us. But what if they are? I mean, what? I don't know. I'm just curious about the whole what you guys think. But yeah, he does go into it. Okay, let's continue on. 38, and he said to them, "Why are you troubled, and why do doubts arise in your hearts? See my hands and my feet, for it is I myself. Handle me and see. For a spirit does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have." So he says a spirit doesn't have flesh and bones.
That Casper.
Yeah, so we know they don't have flesh and bones. But what are they? I mean, are they things that we can see? I don't think we can see spirits. I mean, most
I
of
think
them.
some of them we can.
Like what?
I don't know, because the disciples seem to like they thought Yahushua was a spirit when he's walking on water.
Right.
So
right.
I think they know what a spirit might look like.
Well, they know what a human couldn't do, right? Is walk on water, right? So there's something out there walking on water. What has it got to be? It's got to be a ghost or something spooky. Okay, 40. And saying this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they were still not believing for joy and marveling, he said to them, "Have you any food here?" And they gave him a piece of broiled fish and some honeycomb. Now, do we know this is the first meal or the first food that he ate, or do we know of anything else?
Right before this, he just broke bread with the other two.
Remember with the 153 fish? Mm-hmm. What chapter was this in?
John 21.
Because the 153 fish, that was after he was raised, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we do know he ate fish there. So right here we know that he ate broiled fish.
This could be that fish from that when that take they got.
Which when they were fishing?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but
above we said he appeared to Shimon. Is that Kepha?
yeah.
That's him, right? So that could be the one. That could be the moment when he appeared to him with the fish.
Maybe.
And he went swimming out to him when he had no clothes on.
Maybe. That could be. Or it could be a separate incident. I'm just trying to figure out how many meals or what did Messiah eat when he came back. We know he ate fish. Here we know he ate broiled fish and some honeycomb, which is interesting to note that you would have, instead of having sweets or instead of having sugar or instead of having the stuff, you would have, here's some honeycomb, here's some sweet stuff. Okay. And taking it, he ate in their presence. And he said to them, why do you think he ate in their presence? Why do you think he needed to eat it all?
Sorry.
I think.
Is he?
I think
don't know.
I think he's just having communion with them one last time, just having like a shared moment with them.
If somebody doesn't eat and you think they're a spirit and they never ever eat, you're still going to be like, it's a little iffy here, right?
Why didn't this dude eat?
Right. So when Messiah ate with them, it probably calmed them down a lot.
Oh, he does eat. Okay.
Okay. So spirit. Do you think he needed to eat at this point, or was just comforting?
Probably just comforting. I mean, he probably didn't need to eat.
He lasted 40 days without food, so he could probably.
At this point, I don't think he's just like normal human anymore. I think there's like
He's
spiritual
Messiah.
changes.
He's Messiah at this point. I don't think he's human. So I mean, he's human, but he's not fully human or something. I don't know.
He has more powers than I.
Yeah. Okay. 44. He's Messiah now. He's our king. And he said to them, "These are the words which I spoke to you while I was still with you, that all have to be filled that were written in the Torah of Moshe, and the Nebiim, and the Tehillim concerning me." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures, and said to them, "Thus it has been written, and so it was necessary for Hamashiach to suffer, and to rise again from the dead the third day, and that repentance and forgiveness of sins should be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. And you are witnesses of these. And see, I am sending the promise of my Father upon you. But you are to remain in the city of Jerusalem until you are clothed with power from on high." And he led them out as far as Bet Aniah, and lifting up his hands, he baraked them. And it came to be, while he baraked them, that he was parted from them and was taken up into the Shemaim. And they, having bowed down to him, returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and were continually in the Mikdash praising and baraka Elohim. Amen. Okay, what do you think that looked like, guys? He parted from them.
He probably floated up or floated wherever it was, like maybe like.
I don't know where I heard this before, but I think or maybe a Christian religion, but I think he like put his hands up and like floated up, and people sat there and watched him go up. I don't know. Maybe there's another account.
I think it might actually be in John.
I'm reading so much scriptures anymore. I just can't keep track of what I've learned based upon not truths and what's in the scriptures, because in the Christian religion you learn all sorts of stuff that's not true.
They make up so much stuff that just to fit along with it.
And they do, right? And that's unfortunate. So
Could you imagine if Yahushua showed up into the Pharisees and the Sadducees after that?
they were freaked out. They ran for their lives.
They would have all died. They would have
ran for their lives.
would have failed them.
Caiaphas, the dude, and I hope Messiah did go and haunt Caiaphas, the guy that slapped him, the guy that started all this whole thing. He's definitely in a very bad part of hell. All these guys are, right? These guys are definitely partakers in the bad shoal.
Yeah, it's been a while. You guy you just crucified and killed. He comes back 2 days later.
Yeah, imagine that you're on Judgment Day and you're sitting there. You're like, oh, I killed this dude. Why is he here judging me?
Not that you killed a dude. You killed the son.
I know, but he's
going
to go up there and he's going to be like, I killed him. I was the one that killed him, and now he's judging me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to be terrified, right? I can't imagine the moment that guy died. The terror and the upsetness that he has had. He has had, 2,000 years of hanging out, thinking about this for a while now. And he probably has another couple hundred years before everything comes to fruition, and 1,000 years of reign. So he's going to be hanging out there for a long time.
He's got a lot of time to think about his actions.
He's got 3,000 or 4,000 years to think about this, and then judgment will come. And then it's going to be terrible. And then I guess, it's gnashing of teeth and people wailing and terrible things. Okay, that is it, guys. That is another chapter that is of the Besorah, the good news, is the absolute good news. And if you guys made it all this way, much love to you guys. And we will be live on Wednesday for the very first thing. And we might actually do this on our main channel. We might actually do it on our main channel. I've been putting some stuff back there, but since this is a brand new series, we might start that up right there since we're backfilling the other stuff on there. And I guess we will see you guys Wednesday night. We don't know exactly. We're going to go as late as possible that we can, which is pretty bad for us because we're in bed really early here. At least some of us are, not me. All right. Actually, it is me, not everyone else. All right, that's it. Everybody, thank you guys very, very much. Much love to everybody out there, our family. We love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow morning.
All right, shalom.